Hello, I'm Howard Phillips Lovecraft, and it's good to be back after my travels in beloved Providence at the Necronomic Convention. My hat goes off to Niels and all the organizers for pulling off a truly extravagant time. I got to meet so many wonderful, like-minded people. Some a little too like-minded, but let's just leave it at that. I saw wonderful artists and writers and got to see all manner of delightful creations, many paintings and sculptures, many, of course, of our little friend here, which for legal reasons I'm not allowed to say his name. Let's call him Harold. Yes, many depictions of Harold in all of his squamous glory. But it is good to be back, and I'm ready to do the serious business of answering your questions. Today's question is about who would win in a fight, Galactus or Harold. Now, normally I don't like to answer these hypothetical melee questions, as, well, there's no objective standard to them. Any good writer can determine who will win and make it interesting based on their own preferences and whims. There's nothing to really measure. But I am going to make an exception in this circumstance because I love the work of Jack Kirby. Truly, his imagination existed in this cosmic scope and scale, similar, I'd say, to my own. I mean, who doesn't appreciate a good Kirby dot or crackle, eh? And Galactus himself is a very curious figure. He's more a force of nature or a piece of the scenery than a character himself. Oh, I know he has a very complicated backstory going back, but generally speaking, when we're talking about Galactus, we're talking about this cosmic hunger, this need to feed, and the actual form of him doesn't really matter, whether it's a giant man in a silly hat, or a giant tentacled creature, or a swarm of ravenous robots, or my personal favorite, Omnipotus, devourer of worlds. What really matters with Galactus is how he interacts with the world at large through the form of his herald, usually the Silvered Surfer. So what I would like to see in any conflict between him and Harold would be to see how their heralds interact. You have the Herald of Galactus and the Herald of Heralds, and maybe Harold's herald will try to convince the Herald of Galactus that he should not be the Herald of Harold, but should herald a... I think I may have made a very serious tactical error at the beginning of the episode. Oh well, it's too late now. Where was I? In the end, like with any of these great conflicts, there is no true winner, but there are many losers, specifically us. So let's just hope it doesn't come down to it. As always, I'm Howard Phillips Lovecraft. Excelsior.